Are you ready, Ninja Babe? Ready to face your fears, to ignite your passions and break through your limitations? Are you ready to get out of your comfort zone and go after your dreams with unstoppable force? It's happening here on the Ninjababes podcast, the place where women spill it all about self-confidence, courage, and body image. This is where we show our strength. This is the sisterhood where girls gather to empower themselves and each other. Get ready to get rocked, because this is where you come to be encouraged and be transformed in order to live out your full potential. Be proud of yourself, Ninja Babe. Now let's get after it. Hey, Ninja Babes. Welcome to the Ninja Babes podcast. Today I am here with Miss Massachusetts herself, Lyndsey Littlefield. Welcome.
Hi, thanks for having me.
Hey, how's it going?
Going good. How are you?
So good. It's a morning recording, and I feel like I never do morning recordings, so this is like a strange air for me to feel like I'm like kind of like still energized. I'm a morning person for sure, so I'm like, hey, recording.
Yeah, right. Me too. So I'm like, this is good for me. This is where I flow. So
Perfect. Yay. Lyndsey, I was so excited to meet you last year at NNL Finals. That was super exciting, and I didn't really know much about your story or who you are, but getting to know you, it's been incredible to hear everything that you're up to, and there's so much more that I can't wait to learn about right now during this interview. So where are you from? And I said earlier that you're Miss Massachusetts, you're involved with pageants in Miss America. Can you explain just like who you are, and then we'll dive more into your story?
yeah, absolutely. I think it's funny because I'm thinking back now, and I didn't even remember this, but going back to when you first approached me at NNL Finals last year, I remember being so nervous to be on camera. And you asked me just to like explain why I really thought that ninja and being a female empowerment model really went together well. And I was like, oh my gosh, I hope they like what I say. And now I think back to it like a year and a half later, I'm Miss Massachusetts, and I just did this on the Miss America stage. So I think that's crazy to me.
Oh man, yeah.
Yeah, right? Isn't that crazy?
I love that. I just
like what?
I love when it comes full circle like that, and you know, something that made you nervous and you're like, this is like my dream and what I want and why I think this is great, and now all of a sudden you realize how it's like become such a bigger thing than you were making it out to be. Like, I love it.
Yeah, so crazy. But a year and a half later, here we are. I'm currently Miss Massachusetts 2019. I just came home from competing at Miss America. I'm from Taunton, Massachusetts. So when I was going upon my journey of going to Miss America, I actually won my hometown title of Miss Taunton. And that's what really started this journey. But I'm here and I'm excited to represent the ninja community on a whole new platform.
Awesome. So how did you get into pageants and modeling and all of that in the first place?
So as a senior in high school, one of the things that I really wanted to do was go to college, obviously. And I was really motivated to go to a tech school. Neither one of my parents had went to college. So I was really breaking a lot of barriers in my family history of being the first person to apply for college. And doing that, I really didn't have any type of funds to go to college. And I had the support and the love and everything else that I needed, but I didn't have the financial ability to select any university I wanted, essentially. And me being the ambitious person I am, I wanted to be a dentist, which is 8 years of college in total. So it was a little bit more than what my parents expected from me. So I started looking for scholarship opportunities. And the Miss Taunton local pageant was the first opportunity I realized that really gave you a huge scholarship. And all you needed to do essentially was go on stage, speak about who you were, have a performing talent, and wear a gown. And I had a dress from prom. I had a performing talent because I was a Boston Dance Company dancer growing up. I danced professionally all through high school. And I needed the reason to have the scholarship money. I had that opportunity at my table. And I said, why would I not take that if I have all of these components? So I went for it. And I did not win Miss Taunton my first year, but I did walk away with a really large scholarship. And that allowed me to apply to my first semester. Going forward, every pageant I then entered, I was taking away a little bit more and more scholarship opportunities and building up that scholarship. And now I won the title of Miss Taunton, which is a $4,000 scholarship. I went on to compete at Miss Massachusetts, which was a $12,000 scholarship total. And then I just came home from Miss America with an additional $7,000. So I graduated Bridgewater State University debt-free.
Wow.
Debt-free. Like, that's crazy. Just from this, from wearing crowns, from competing in the organization, from representing what I fully believe that a social impact initiative needs to be brought to the public's attention of Girls Inc. and competing with a performing talent.
Wow, that is okay. Before you go on any further, like congratulations. That is so
Thank you.
huge. Like, I didn't really realize how much pageants and Miss America and the foundation has to offer. And so just hearing you explain that, it's like I don't mean this in a negative way, but it gives so much more credibility to Miss America, the organization in general, just because you're still bringing awareness, you're still doing your mission, even if you haven't won the crown, you're still able to, win scholarship to pay off debt and like go to college, and you're still doing everything with Girls Inc. Like it's just so inspiring to me that you don't need to win in order to still have a huge impact on your community and on your mission.
Yeah, exactly. And I feel like that's often overlooked within the organization, that there's so much for people to gain from it without winning the title. And I feel like a lot of people go in with this idea of, okay, I'm going to win. And then they walk out of it and they're like, wait, but I won so much more not winning than I would have if I won. And that's the whole idea behind Miss America, is that you are gaining not only interview skills, the ability to really be confident on stage to represent your social impact initiative, but you're getting scholarship money. And that is so crucial to today's student.
Absolutely. That's really cool. So, can you explain more of what is your social impact initiative and what are you doing with that movement?
Yeah, so my social impact initiative is entitled Girls Inc. It's an after-school program that is helping tomorrow's future become strong, smart, and bold. We are a little bit more than your typical after-school program. Instead of just doing the homework help and the tutoring sessions, we have 7 self-identifying programs on top of our tutors that help our mentees learn to really thrive in a pro-girl environment and try new things and be confident trying new things and having a voice. And doing this, we've expanded from Taunton. We're now a national program, and we're currently developing an app. So we really want to make sure that people are understanding that it's important to just be yourself, love who you are, but in a whole new way of trying new things and finding what you love.
That's really cool. I want to join.
Applications are accepting.
Thank you. I'll just go back to school, go back to being like 12 and being a student in Massachusetts. I think that's what's required, right?
Basically, but we'll take you. I'll take you.
Thank you. No, but really, so this Girls Inc. is in Massachusetts, right? If there are listeners who are like curious about the programming.
Yes, so Girls Inc. is a national program, so it's
okay.
actually found nationwide. The Taunton chapter is currently the oldest chapter at 106 years old, so we're very proud to celebrate that this year. But there are 4 chapters in Massachusetts. There's Lynn, there's Of the Valley, which is in western Massachusetts, there's Taunton, as well as Worcester. But these programs range all across the United States. So you can just go on www.girlsinc.org to find a chapter near you.
Awesome. Thank you so much for sharing that. That's really cool. So tell me more about your experience in general with Miss America. Like what's been the hardest moment and the funniest moment?
So with my program of Girls Inc., I really stand for this concept personally of that beauty is not in the eye of the beholder, but beauty is what you define yourself as. And everybody defines himself as beautiful in a unique way. And I'm dedicated to finding that way for each individual person I meet. And for me, it's strength. And one of the hardest things that I've really had within the organization was when I was competing for Miss Massachusetts this year. I was Miss Taunton for almost a full year. So I really had the support of my hometown community. It was my dream to be Miss Taunton. And I broke my tooth 45 minutes before my private interview, my front tooth.
What?
And
how?
And so me being the strong woman I am, the crew at the Hanover Theater asked for my assistance in moving a sandbag. And I moved it. And while moving it, a clip came up and hit me in the front tooth about 45 minutes before my interview. So they gave me an option in that moment. I could go home and fix my tooth, and my private interview score would be wiped down to 0. And I could do all the onstage things and make it look like I competed. But in my head, I would know that obviously I would not be winning the title because I would not have a score for a phase of competition. And I really thought to myself in that moment, well, yeah, that'd be the idea thing. I have no front tooth currently, but what would I be saying to the 120 little girls that I have at Girls Inc. in Taunton? What would I be saying to all of the people that have followed my journey for 5 years to be Miss Taunton if I walked away right now? And I didn't represent what I've been saying and preaching for the last 5 years. So I walked into my interview a little nervous, a little shaky, with a broken front tooth. and walked out with the interview award. So I had the overall highest scoring interview. But it was just a crazy, I just remember like looking in the mirror and calling my mom and being like, Mom, I broke my front tooth. And she was like, what? And I was like, no, Mom, you heard me right. Like, it's broken.
Oh my gosh.
It was just like the worst thing you could probably imagine for a pageant.
That is so crazy.
So the girl with a broken front tooth won the pageant.
Okay, first of all, I love everything about this story because not only could every ninja in the world relate with that first part of, oh, of course, being the strong girl, you volunteered / I'm sure were asked to like help move stuff. Of course, that happens. Like, that's just normal. Like, that's
Right,
a thing every ninja girl would be like, oh yeah, I want to move that giant heavy thing. And so I love that was the reason. And then it's so random, something to like pop out and smash you in the tooth. And then I love just the integrity of that moment. And like, I love that, like your decision to be like, no, what would I be saying if I was like, no, my look, how I look is more important in this moment. But no, for you to be able to be like, you know what I have to say, who I am as a person, valuing that over having a perfect smile is like so cool to me. So I love that that's how it turned out. And then to come out on top, like, that's crazy.
It was crazy. It really felt like a ninja competition where like you walk into a competition and you're like, oh my God, I'm not prepared for this. And then you crush it and you like didn't even know that you had that ability in you. That's what that moment for me felt like. So I always imagine whenever I'm going into a ninja competition now, like if something's very difficult for me or I'm overwhelmed, I'm like, you know what? It's a broken tooth moment. Just give it a moment. You know?
That's so good. I feel like that should be your ninja shirt this year if you make it on NW12. It's gotta be like your face with like a big giant chipped tooth. It's
perfect. So the joke is that my nickname in the pageant world is not Miss America Ninja Warrior or not anything related, but it's Chippy.
Chippy. Oh, that's so adorable.
But that was definitely the hardest moment. I think bringing it on a lighter note, the most fun moment.
I was going to say that feels like the hardest and the silliest moment, like bashed into one, but I'm sure at the time it didn't necessarily feel silly. It just felt hard.
Oh my gosh. I just remember like running around trying to like super glue it in. And at one point somebody had tap shoe glue, which is like when you like mic up your tap shoes, you like super glue the mics on with like special leather. And I was like trying to put that on my tooth. It was just crazy. And then finally I was like, what am I even doing? Like, this is like desperate moment for me. Like, I don't even know. It was just such a crazy moment. I just remember running backstage like a crazy banshee trying to figure out a solution until I finally had that ninja mentality back to me. And I was like, you know what? This is an obstacle.
Yeah.
And just like every other obstacle you face in your life, Lyndsey, sometimes you don't get to do it the way that you want to, but in the end, you just got to get to that ending platform.
That is so funny. That is so good. I love this. I'm going to help you make these t-shirts.
Perfect. Designed by Ninjababes.
Designed by Ninjababes. I also think it would be funny, though, if you had somehow managed to glue your tooth back in. What if you were in the middle of your interview and it fell out?
So there was a point that we did get this tooth to like glue back in. And that's what I thought. I was like, knowing me, I'm going to say something like salmon ladder and it's going to like shoot across the room and hit somebody in the eye. And I was like, I can't do this. I got to take it out.
Wow.
Welcome to the life of Chippy.
That's priceless. Okay, so then what was in your eyes the funnest moment?
So when you're competing at Miss America, they don't let you take off your heels. You really have to wear your gowns like all day long. Like all those like little things that you hear through the grapevine are true. But what they don't tell you is that there is fun moments throughout competing in Miss America. And one of my favorite moments was there came a day that we were all just so exhausted. Half of us were laying on the ground, sleeping in our gowns. Some of us were still standing. And the choreographer put on High School Musical. And there's an awesome video of us that is currently on my Instagram. It's actually being posted today, which is funny. But we're all in our high heels, in our gowns, with rollers in our hairs, like jamming out to High School Musical, doing the dance, the whole 9 yards. And I was like, this is the coolest moment ever, because it was like our own little High School Musical. So that would be the funniest moment for me. I look at that video every so often and I just laugh.
I love that. That's priceless. It's moments like those that you just have so much fun, and it's like I wouldn't want to be anywhere else.
Yeah, it's like watching your child's first dance recital or something, and it's awful and terrible, but it's just so enjoyable at the same time.
I love
So
it.
that would definitely be the best moment I've had through the organization. I really just love, when things like that come together and you realize that you do have 51 people who know who you are, who love what you represent, in one from every state, which is kind of cool. So no matter where I go for a ninja competition, I have somebody I know in that area.
Yeah, that's really cool. Have you experienced any sort of like questioning or I don't know, people in the organization being like, "Oh, you do what? And you're a pageant girl?" Like, I don't know, just like the dichotomy not feeling like it matches ever or getting like pushback for it?
Yes, when I was first crowned a title before Taunton, so I was crowned Lakeville, I really had a hard time of combining the idea of being a ninja warrior and competing in ninja competitions through the idea of pageantry and how those two really overlap in a lot of different ways. And I really had a hard time making that connection. And I feel like that was one of the reasons why I was not doing as well and why it took me 5 years to win the state title, because I didn't quite know how to make that new connection that nobody's really made before. So once I did learn how to make it, that was when I won my hometown title. But for me, I realized that being in a ninja competition and being in a pageant competition is essentially the same thing. Every day you're waking up, you're looking at the obstacle and saying, okay, whether it's to do your talent or whether it's to win the entry award or whether it's to do the salmon ladder, you have a starting platform, you have an ending platform, and you need to navigate how you're going to do that. And for me, when I first started doing this, a lot of directors were telling me that it was too muscular, that it wasn't going to win, that the idea of having a scientist who's a dancer who also competes in Ninja Warrior competitions was just too spread out, that that wasn't really going to work, and that national television would think that I'm too muscular. And to now be here as a 2.0 title holder, I love that I'm the first Miss Massachusetts that didn't win in a swimsuit. And I love that I'm the first Miss Massachusetts that is a Ninja Warrior who got to go on the Miss America stage and say, as a Ninja Warrior, I am Lyndsey Littlefield.
Yeah.
So I think that that's just, it really showed people throughout my journey that, yeah, it's not going to be the easiest connection to make, but if you open your eyes and you listen to me and what I'm saying and what I'm doing, you're going to realize that it's obvious how these two things overlap in a ninja mentality way.
I love that. You're a pioneer out there and it's like exciting and it's scary and like hard at times, I'm sure, but you're doing something so true to who you are and true to who so many women in our world want to be. They want to showcase their strength and, their power through their beauty, through their physical abilities, through their mentality, everything. They want all of that beauty and strength to coincide together in every area of life. So I love that.
Absolutely. And I really feel that because of this, I mean, once you find a way that you can really show your strength and be comfortable showing your strength, because that's really what it comes down to. It's not just showing your strength, but it's being so comfortable that you can be raw and open about who you are. That is the moment that you are just at your absolute best, that you peak, that is 100% you. And that's what I love showing the world, because now that I'm comfortable with that, throughout my journey of pageantry, throughout my journey of Ninja Warrior, throughout my journey as a scientist, it's so unique to see the connections that I'm making now and the people that I'm changing their minds about what a Ninja Warrior competitor looks like. And I love that.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, it goes both ways, really. People in the fitness or like ninja world could judge you for being in the pageant world and not understand the connection or understand why it's so unique and like genuine to who you are.
Absolutely.
Hey guys, it's Casey Rothschild here for Neighborhood Ninjas. Neighborhood Ninjas is a nonprofit which works to give youth who are facing obstacles in their lives access to Ninja Warrior training and competition. As many of you know, the National Ninja League World Finals are coming up this February. This year, they're in Greensboro, North Carolina. Going to finals can be extremely expensive for all of us. Between flights, hotels, and just the competition fee, it does not give access to kids and adults across the country who wish to compete as well. Here at Neighborhood Ninjas, we're raising money to give $150 scholarships that will lessen the financial burden on families trying to send their kids to finals. Last year, we were able to give over 20 scholarships to NNL finals, and this year our goal is to provide scholarships for 45 youth and some adults. If you'd like to donate or apply, you can go to www.neighborhoodninjas.org, or you can follow the link on the Neighborhood Ninjas Instagram page, which will direct you to our website as well. Thank you all, and hope to see you at finals.
Ninjas, we're getting closer and closer to February, and that means the National Ninja League World Championships will be here before you know it. Are you ready? Do you feel like you're sleeping enough, training how you want to, getting enough nutrition and eating well? All these things we know are so important when you're getting ready for competition. Well, if you feel like you're lacking in any of those areas, our sponsors can help you out. Propello Life makes whey, vegan proteins. They make amino acids, electrolytes, everything that you need to fuel your workout and to feel great. So if you feel like your training has gotten to that place where you're always training in the evenings and you don't feel pumped up and ready, they've got some all-natural energy and focus blends that can give you that pre-workout punch that you need without taking in weird chemicals and additives that you feel sketchy about. They've also got great amino acids and electrolyte blends that I drink every day, whether I'm working out or not that day, because I know that I need my body to be refueled and recovered and have the balance that it needs in order to then take on a workout the next day strong. So whether you're in the midst of your workout or you're recovering after it, Propello Life has got everything you need to work out well and to fuel your training. So at propellolife.com, you can use code Ninjababes, all caps, for 10% off your order, and you'll be supporting the Ninjababes podcast. Our second sponsor, Sleepovation, has been a huge supporter of Ninjas for over a year now. And everyone at Sleepovation wants to know that you're sleeping the best that you can be. So if you need a new mattress or a new pillow, check it out on sleepovation.com. Their unique technology is going to allow you to sleep better and recover more optimally. And we all know as athletes, we need that. We need to know that we've slept the best that we can and the next day we're ready to crush it. When you make a purchase from Sleepovation, you will not only be getting a life-changing bed, but you will also be supporting the Ninjababes podcast and all of the workshops and events that we put on. So head on over to sleepovation.com and use code Ninjababes, all caps, for 28% off your total purchase. And don't forget, all of the links of websites that we're talking about today can all be found in the show notes of this episode. So whether you're looking for links to the National Ninja League's homepage, Sleepovation, Propello Life, or Neighborhood Ninjas, check it all out in the show notes at the bottom of this page. What do you feel like was the turning point for you when you said, for 5 years you didn't really put it together of how you are a ninja and this pageant woman at the same time? Like, what really was the light bulb moment for you?
Honestly, I remember this so clearly. I was rock climbing with Jordan Thurston from Vitality Obstacle Fitness, and we were rock climbing together. And at one point I fell and I was getting really frustrated because I couldn't get this route. And he just looked at me and handed me a chalk pad and was like, "This is just like your talent. You have 30 seconds, go."
Huh.
And I don't know why it was just that comment that it was like, oh my gosh, this is something that I've done over and over again, just like how I've practiced my talent for Miss Massachusetts over and over again. And it was that realization that those two worlds did combine was when it clicked. And I was like, whoa.
Wow.
So from there forward, it was this idea of me and Jordan figuring out how, and this wasn't done alone. It was a whole community that really helped me, not only from the ninja world, but from the scientific world, from my family, from Taunton. It was this whole community of, Lyndsey, this is a ninja competition for you. And that was where I was really comfortable. And that's where I really loved being confident. And once I was able to feel like every time I was on stage in the Miss America program, it was just another ninja competition, that was when I really thrived the most. But just comparing the ideas behind it, comparing the lifestyles behind it, comparing everything that I do to prepare for a ninja competition, to prepare for Miss Massachusetts, was when things started to really get the ball rolling. As a ninja warrior, you compete, you practice every day, you train every day, and you have your set schedule. Starting to do my scheduling like I do for the gym, like I do for everything else, preparing all my mock interviews, preparing when I was walking, when I was rehearsing talent, really scheduling that all out was key in feeling prepared, but getting there, the mentality behind looking at a situation, realizing that you have to have the focus, right? When you're going through a walkthrough or a run through of a course, you're focused on every rule, everything, every obstacle that you could potentially do this move at, or you could maybe skip this step and do that. Putting that mentality of really paying attention to every little detail that was going on and how is it best going to be suited you, and putting that into my ninja pageant realm was when things started to really make sense. Looking at the stage and saying, okay, well, there's a little slippery spot here, so I got to avoid that. But like a ninja course, maybe I can skip that second step.
Mm-hmm.
So that's when things really started to click. And then the last component was like the whole title mentality of it. And you walk into a ninja competition and immediately you go, oh, this is a joke. This is all they got for me. You know, this kind of like, I can do this, and building up your self-confidence in a sense that like you feel that when you get on that starting platform, you're going to conquer this course and there's nothing going to get in your way about it. And that's the only thing on your mind. Bringing that to a crown perspective and walking around and feeling like I'm already Miss Massachusetts, and not in an egotistical way, but as a confident way, feeling like I'm already Miss Massachusetts and I could do that job and I could do that title, or I could be Miss Taunton and feel like that title without having the crown on my head, really gave me the push and the determination to go out and get that title or get that crown and get that scholarship.
Yeah, that's beautiful. I love like that mindset, and just like being able to tie all of your pieces of life together and see them in a fluid way, I think makes such a huge difference in your identity, and just the way you're able to carry yourself and the way you're able to seamlessly like work all of your goals together. Like, I think it does such like a deep transformative work in your own self when you're able to realize like all of those connections. Because when we feel disjointed, or like, this is my pageant life, this is my ninja life, or for me, it was like, this is my career life, but this is my ninja life, and this is my art life, and this is my modeling life. I had like so many different things going on.
Right.
But same for you, like when I was able to put them all together in what is now Ninjababes, like it made such a huge change in my life of just like realizing all of these little goals in different areas of my life were really all one giant goal that I just needed to learn how to overlap and put together.
Exactly. And I feel like that's really what my life has turned to be. And I feel like everybody gets there with a certain point in their life, especially as a ninja warrior. You start to realize that this mentality of being, especially a female ninja warrior, you get this mentality of that this is essentially all one goal, and that the skill of being a ninja warrior and being an advocate or being a worker or working wherever is really the same common ideals and the same common skill sets that you need throughout your life. So they start to overlap, and I always call it the melting pot. So this is when things start to melt together and you make soup. So
I hope it's really good soup. It's good.
What's your favorite soup?
My favorite soup? Oh man, it's got to be like Chipotle chicken.
Oh,
where it's like a little bit spicy, but it's got like the Chipotle like flavoring with chicken, and then like those crispy tortilla shells on top. Definitely.
I don't think I've had, I'm a big Chipotle fan, so I'm a little disappointed in myself that you're talking about it and I don't know what it is. So I'll definitely have to fix that. But
well, growing up, my neighbors who are okay, so I don't know if this is a Puerto Rican recipe or not, but my neighbors were Puerto Rican and they would make it. So not sure like where they got the recipe from, but that's the only reason I've had it, is like having like homemade soup for my neighbors. Oh. Thanks, neighbors.
Shout out to the neighbors. Can you hook Miss Massachusetts up?
Yeah, I'll send some over.
Perfect.
We'll do like a drive-by.
We'll trade. I'll send you the crown and you can send me some soup. That's a pretty good trade.
Oh, thanks. That's a pretty cool trade-off. Okay, this is totally off topic, but I've been cleaning out my basement. I live in my grandparents' house. It's actually like a multi-level family, and I live in the bottom apartment, which is where my grandparents lived. But I was just going through old boxes with my mom, and we came across a box that held my grandmother's wedding dress in it. And obviously it's very old and like it wasn't preserved super well. It's like crinkly and like looks like it's falling apart at this point. But she had this like really beautiful beaded crown, and it's not like a tiara type of a wedding dress thing. It's more like literally it almost looks like a headband, but it's a crown.
Wow.
But it's like all beaded and embroidered, and I was like, this is so beautiful. I want to figure out how to restore this somehow, and I want to like wear it.
Perfect. That'll be what you wear. So I'll have the chippy tooth and you have the crown. Perfect.
This
is catch
all
us
right.
ANW12.
ANW12. Yeah, so is this the first year you applied, or have you applied in the past as well?
I applied last year. What came down to inevitably allowing me to test obstacles was Miss America was not contracted at the time. So we gone through a really big change in the Miss America organization. I was Miss Taunton at the time. And throughout the organization, they were really going over to Miss America 2.0, which is what we essentially know the organization as now. And during that, ABC decided that they no longer wanted to film Miss America. So we were actually getting contracted in with NBC at the time to become Miss America 2.0. And because of that, and because of my possibility becoming Miss Massachusetts, which did end up happening, they said that they did not want to really overlap the worlds yet until they knew for sure that the contract would be successful. And so they wanted to wait till after Miss America. So I'm applying again this year. I'm here. I'm ready. There's no contract problems this year. So we'll go for round 2. But
yeah, the networks are together now. So NBC all the way.
It works. So I'm just owned by NBC, hopefully now. That's the goal.
Yeah, hopefully.
They own half my life. Let me know if they want to take the other half.
Right. I think that'd be cool.
I know. Watch out, Captain NBC.
Oh no, yeah. What would you be called?
I don't even know. The Queen of NBC? I don't even know.
There you go. Maybe.
I feel like I don't know. I feel like that steps on his toes though. You can't do that. He's got green hair. I don't.
Jamie's a pretty cool guy though. I feel like I don't know. We'll talk to him. I mean, his wife.
We'll be like the prom king and queen.
There you go. Yeah, right. I mean, Kim's pretty cool too, and she was on the podcast not that long ago. She might be able to help, let that relationship foster just for TV. King and queen. Anyways, I don't know where this is going.
I don't know. We're so off topic now. It's great.
So looking towards ANW12, what are your thoughts? I know that you've done tons of local competitions. I'm assuming NNLs. Have you done like UNX or anything else like that?
So I'm looking forward to competing in UNX. I haven't yet. I really think, first of all, their camera angles. Can we talk about that for a moment? Because I don't think I've ever seen a ninja competition with better camera angles than UNX. That's crazy. But going into ANW, if I don't get a call back, it's not going to be the end of the world for me because, again, it's like a pageant. It's the opinion of people I've never met. But I'm looking forward to really just being on new and different obstacles overall, really connecting with the ninja community, because that was my favorite thing with traveling down to Baltimore, was just going to different places and just seeing ninjas everywhere. I remember at one point I was having scooter races with people that were from across the country, but we all had this common ground of being a ninja that immediately we were friends. So I love that. I love being on new obstacles. I love facing fears. So I just love the idea of even not getting a call back, being able to still be a part of the community and test obstacles.
First of all, going back for a second, I do agree that UNX has like the best camera angles in the world.
It's crazy.
Kim was telling me on the UNX episode a couple of weeks ago, she was telling me that it's the same camera crew from the X Games. So,
oh my God, I just find that so mind-blowing. Like, I was watching somebody's run the other day and I was like, how do they even get these angles?
Right. Yeah, exactly. So whether it's the same exact crew or whatnot, they at least have experience with that type of athleticism. So super cool. I think it looks amazing and I cannot wait to compete on it once I'm ready.
Right? You and me both. I'm so hyped about it. I'm like, my run's going to be awesome to post on Instagram. Like,
exactly.
Super exciting.
Exactly. I know, right? And I feel like that's every ninja's thought. And it's so funny because I know in the first UNX qualifier that was happening, everyone was so antsy. Like, what do you mean I can't record my run? What do you mean nobody can like walk beside me and record my run? And they're like, relax. You're going to get amazing footage. Like, relax. This is not ANW. Like, you're going to get your footage. So it's just so funny. But I think it's so good. And like, I appreciate that so much that they're putting in that effort to like give us the cuts of our video.
Yeah, I think that's awesome. I really feel like that's where like the next wave of ninja is really going to take us, because let's be honest, Instagram is where it's at. That's where a lot of our runs have been carried through and posted and shared. But I feel like having a camera crew, and now I work for OCRM Network, so I understand the importance of having a camera crew for like obstacle course racing where it's never been covered before. But Ninja Warrior is a different world where like it is covered, but it's not. So I love that UNX is really like, nope, we're going to cover it for you. And the camera angles are so good. So if you're listening, UNX, I just adore you. If you want to come film me as Miss Massachusetts, feel free to, you can come over.
Wait, I think that for your next pageant, you should definitely get as many ninjas as possible, like in the audience. I feel like that would be such a cool way to like show our support. I don't know. How could we do that?
That would be awesome. So I actually give up my title and I will no longer be Miss Massachusetts. Womp, womp, womp.
True,
In
true.
June.
Yeah.
But I'm trying to really plan out like how can I be a ninja warrior on stage currently, because I'm very not your typical pageant girl, and so I really want to like leave the audience on their toes as a legacy as to who I was during my year. So that'd be awesome if I could get like a whole crew of you guys in the audience. Just it would just be so cool. That would be
Can
really
they
cool.
let you like hang monkey bars from the ceiling as you like walk down to hand over your crown?
I think that's what I need to do. Like we need to find somebody to manufacture a salmon ladder so I can just salmon ladder across the audience. So
Or I recently saw a video of the Redmond twinjas, the ninja twins from Arizona, and they did this crazy hat flip thing where one of the girls did a lache off the bar and then did like a forward flip and flipped her hat off her head onto the other twin's head. And it was the most amazing thing in the world. So I'm not really sure that would be safe to try with a crown, but just saying.
I think we have to now.
I think there's got to be some way.
If they want to fly to Massachusetts, I don't know if you guys are listening. If you want to come over too with UNX, just let me know.
Yeah, just come to my hometown and do the qualifier here. Thank you.
Thanks, bye. No, that was awesome though. And I love that we're getting like such these different cool things going on with Ninja Warrior. Because obviously it's cool to bring it to like a different stage, literally a different stage. But to have people bring these different elements into it, especially at such a young age, like I love the sport. I love what it brings to the community. I love what it overall is doing for people. It's just epic to see and watch people have this transformation and grow through Ninja Warrior.
So true. It is the way. It is the way of the ninja.
It's the way of the ninja. That'll be my t-shirt now.
So you've done NNLs. Have you qualified? Are you going to Worlds?
Yes. So I competed at Strive Ninja Fitness. That was my first ninja competition. I've been a little light this season just because competing in Miss America, it requires a lot. I'm not always home very often. So sure. When I was home, I obviously was competing. So luckily the first competition I did do, I podiumed at and qualified. So I was like, oh, phew, one thing off my plate.
Load off your plate.
Focus on. Yeah. So that way I can transition the focus. But I'll be competing at Ninja Mania. I'll be there and a few others throughout Massachusetts, wrapping up the season until finals.
Nice. That's exciting. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to Worlds. Ninjababes will have a huge vendor table there.
As always, with a huge following too.
Oh yes, with all the new merch plus new merch that is yet to be revealed. So hang on tight, and it's just gonna be fun. I'm excited.
No, it's gonna be super fun.
Oh yeah, I have like a few ideas up my sleeve that I'm not exactly sure yet which one of them is gonna pan out. But I don't know if you remember, but I have this thing for jeans jackets, and obviously Ninjababes is like.
In a jean jacket?
What? Yeah, right? Yeah.
Wow.
So obviously,
just kidding.
Yeah, obviously Ninjababes is a little bit of like a girl gang, right? So jean jackets are my thing, and I have like several Ninjababes jean jackets. And so Eric from Monster Holds got this idea that I should get iron-ons that could be used for people to basically make kits of Ninjababes, like patches and pins and like iron-ons and stuff to then make their own jean jackets. Yeah. So I am in the process of like putting those pieces together to then sell these little kits at NNL finals. So I'm also like playing with the idea of like, should I bring an iron and tell people that they can like bring their own jean jacket and I will assemble it for them, or that might be too much, or I might just make a few jean jackets.
You could do it with a straightener. You can't really fly with an iron, but you can fly with a straightener.
Oh. Does that work? Have you done that before? Use a straightener to like adhere things?
Yeah, you haven't?
I mean, I guess not. I mean,
I've also used in my college days. I say it as if I went to college forever ago. I just graduated like last week, but in my college days, I used a straightener to make grilled cheese. Like you can use a straightener for so many things.
Oh, what?
Like if I was a superhero, my secret weapon would be a straightener because I can use it to make grilled cheese. You can use it to do press on things, but I used to use it also to like. Do you remember those like things that you'd have to hand into school, but they had to be binded together, like all fancy, like a portfolio? You could
Yeah,
buy
yeah.
like the glue and I would just straight iron it onto my papers.
You
So that
just
way it would
melt it
melt on
on.
it. Yeah.
I wish that you could see my face right now because I'm just like flabbergasted.
You can also,
How did you not melt the cheese into your flat iron?
oh, you wrap it in tinfoil.
Oh, duh. I mean, like, why did.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not saying it's the most tastiest grilled cheese, but like it did the job. It was better than campus food. But what you do, all right, welcome to Lyndsey's Miss Massa's tutorial. Get your patches ironed on with a straightener by Miss Massachusetts. So you would
Yes.
take a bread, a piece of bread, you put it in tinfoil, and then if you wanted that to be grilled, you would like put it in the straightener for a little bit. Then you open up the tinfoil, put the cheese on, put the last piece of bread, close it, and put it in the straightener a little bit longer, and then you'd have grilled cheese.
Wow. I am amazed.
You're welcome. Your life has just been changed, listeners.
Yeah, life is never going to be the same.
You have to make sure you get a good brand of tinfoil, though, because if you get the cheap dollar store brand, it'll wreck your straightener. So, little fun fact.
Doesn't it scratch the plate on your straightener?
Have you ever seen my hair straightened?
Oh my god, there's so much to learn right now.
I literally don't even use my straightener because it's used for grilled cheeses. Like, that's it.
Oh my god. That's so funny. Okay, well, I've just been schooled in the ways of using my straightener. All right. So, okay, so I'm going to have to play with this. But so for NNL finals, trying to figure out if I should just make a bunch of these jean jackets to sell or sell the kits or tell people to bring their own jean jackets if they want me to make their kit for a fee, because I don't know if I can necessarily do those all for free at the table. Because last year, NNL finals was crazy. It was like so many people mobbing the table at the same time. I had like girls working with me to run the table and we were like swamped. So I'm definitely looking forward to NNL finals again, but I want to like bring something fun.
I think if you honestly just sell the patch, most people, if they don't know how to do it with a straightener, they know how to do it with an iron. And I know like for OCRs, when they sell patches, we all put them on our jackets or our venue shirts or our venue sweatshirts. So there will be a little bit more of a use if you just sell the patches. But I also would love to have mine hand put on with a straightener by you. So I'll bring my straightener for you.
Wow, thank you. Okay, so much pressure now. I'm gonna have to start practicing like tomorrow.
Yeah, I'll bring the grilled cheese too. Don't worry.
Thank you for that. Oh, that's very exciting. Okay, well, do you have any other advice for women or young girls or anyone else that you would want to share your wisdom with?
Just try new things is really my motto. And if you don't feel comfortable trying new things because it's obviously scary and it's new and it's terrifying at times, have a friend try it with you, because I feel like the power in being able to eventually try things on your own and be confident doing that is what leads you to really knowing who you are and what you represent. 5 years ago, I went on a limb to have the opportunity to go to college and competed in a pageant. And 5 years later, I'm Miss Massachusetts and I just came home from Miss America. 3 years ago, I went on a whim and was like, I'm going to try an obstacle course racing race, and hated running, loved ninja obstacles. 3 years later, I'm now competing in Ninja Warrior competitions and applying to be on American Ninja Warrior. So I just feel like this idea of trying new things, everything comes with an opportunity to everybody. Take every opportunity you can to really know who you are, what you represent, and drive it home, because that's how you become successful. So that's my little piece of advice to everyone out there. If you can find an opportunity, take the opportunity.
Well said. I think that's so valuable. And it's so true. Like, same thing here. If I hadn't gone to the gym with a friend who invited me and given it a try and then like, you know, mustered up the courage to just keep working at it and believe that this is something that inspired me and gave me so much fun, and I just wanted to keep going after it. Like if I hadn't have just given myself that opportunity, I would have never been where I am today.
Absolutely. And I feel that everybody can relate to that message in one way or another, but really bringing to full circle, I feel like that's just the key to success, just being out there, being adventurous. Mm-hmm. And even if you don't like it, you learn something about yourself. Like I don't like cooking. That's why I make things with a straightener, but I know that about myself. So signing up for a cooking class may not be the first thing on my to-do list, but I know that about myself. So I just feel like no matter what you're doing in your life, as long as you're really expanding upon that, being adventurous and just putting yourself out there.
Lyndsey, thank you so much for sharing your story today. Where can everyone find you and watch your journey?
So you can watch my Miss Massachusetts journey at Miss America MA on Instagram, or you could follow me personally, which is just my full name because I'm super exciting, which is just at Lyndsey Littlefield.
I was gonna say, and it's actually just really easy to find.
Yeah, it was like, I don't have a fun Instagram name. I'm pretty boring. I make things with straighteners, so that really tells you a lot about me.
So it's Lyndsey Littlefield with a Y. That is something to note, though. Lyndsey.
Oh, yes. Just like my chipped tooth. We're a little different.
Woo woo. Thank you so much for being on today. I loved hearing just everything you have to share. You're incredible. Thanks, Lyndsey.
Thanks for having me. It was awesome to chat with you guys. Be strong, be you, and be a ninja babe.